Welcome to another edition of Dan's Models. John and Dan with you here today. And what are we looking at here, Dan?
Well, this is a model I made of Burlington Northern's one and only GP38-2B. The prototype was apparently rebuilt from a wrecked GP38-2, and they took the nose off of, looks like either a GP7 or a GP9, and grafted it onto the rest of the body to make a B unit. Burlington Northern had B units of other varieties, but there was only one of these.
Did you do the same thing? Did you take it off a 7 or what? How did you make it?
Yeah, I'm not sure now if I think it was a GP9 shell that I used. This is the model's basically it's by Proto 2000, the original model, and I took this part right here from like here forward is from an Atlas GP9 shell.
So it is a major kitbash, huh?
Yeah, but it's also very rearranged because the doors on the side of the GP9 shell didn't quite match the prototype, so I had to do a lot of surgery on it. Does this side have no doors? I can't see.
There's a door there, all right. I see a door right
Yeah,
next to the logo.
There's other doors on the other side. In fact, let me go ahead and turn this over. Some of these, and I had to use some Archer louver decals to make these louvers on the door on this side.
Nice.
So it's pretty custom job. So it was quite a lot of cutting and filling and sanding and that kind of thing going on for this engine. Also, I had to make all new handrails because since the handrail goes all the way from the front to the back, the original Proto 2000 handrails wouldn't have worked. So I had to make new ones. I think I did use the end handrails from the original engine, but
I could see where you'd be able to do that.
Yeah, those are plastic, I think, but these are brass. I made with precision scale stanchions and some brass wire. And this is also one of the few HO scale units that I built that doesn't have sound in it. It just has a regular decoder. I think it's a Loc Pilot.
Is that just for like speed matching and stuff, or?
Yeah, it's fully functional. I mean, it runs just like any other engine, but it doesn't have its own sound. I figured since a B unit is always going to be running with something else, it didn't really have to have sound. And putting sound in these Proto 2000 engines is a little bit of a pain because they've got a lot of lead inside. Almost the entire body cavity is filled with lead weight. So you have to do a lot of surgery with a hacksaw basically to make room for a speaker.
Yeah, your grinder.
Yeah, so in this case I decided to skip that.
Well, it makes sense because if you think about it, like you said, you're always going to have an A unit attached to it.
Right.
Because you would not see, I don't think, you would see a B unit running by itself unless it were like remote controlled or something in a switching yard.
I think
right?
some of them do. I'm not sure about this particular one. I think some B units do actually have a little hustler control where they can run it around the yard.
Right.
But normally, yeah, you wouldn't see that. I actually grafted a Canon brake ratchet and had to cut a custom recess in the front.
Oh, right. You show how to do that in one of our videos, don't you? It was either cutting one out or filling one in. I don't remember which.
Yeah, I think we did.
It was on the detailing and weathering. It might have even been it might have been the counterpart to this one.
Yeah, because this engine, I actually used this as an extra, I guess you could say, in the run-by shots from HO Detailing and Weathering Volume 3, because we did a BN SD40 as one of our builds in that DVD. This one was a trailing unit when we did the run-bys. But it's I did a lot of work to it. The air tanks or air reservoirs here are aftermarket parts, Details West, because the original tanks that came with these didn't look very good. I added brake lines to the trucks and Canon fans on the roof.
Yeah, always got to have those Canon fans.
Yeah, I like the Canon fans. They look really good. I think I've said before that I think they look better than a lot of the stuff even that's coming out of factories. I don't see a lot that look as good as these. Some of the Athearn Genesis are pretty good, but some of the ones they have, they're see-through, but they just don't look right, you know.
Yeah.
And this panel here is a Canon part. Used most of the original proto body shell, at least from here back. The grab irons and everything on the end are all separate, wire pieces. This grab iron behind the last fan is custom. So it's a lot of work in these. The cabling and the pilots and all that, and the uncoupling levers. I think. Yep. Yeah, these I custom made also because, as I've talked about before with other units, the brackets on these are on the outside edges, and the aftermarket are the ones that I've seen offered from I think it's Detail Associates. The bend in the wire isn't thick enough at that point to put a bracket on it and have it sit right. So I had to bend my own. So there's quite a bit of work in this thing.
I have a question about the light. I noticed that there's lights, at least on the side that was facing me before. And why would they have a light on a B unit? It would never lead.
Probably if they were backing up or something,
I see. Well, I guess it would be leading sort of if it were part of a two locomotive sort of lash up and they were just backing it up. That does seem like it would happen or could happen.
Yeah. Also, sometimes on the end of a train, they'll leave the headlight on dim on the rear unit as kind of a tail light.
I've seen that.
But one thing interesting too about this one is it has the standard -2 rear end. You've got the horizontal headlight on the back, but on the front you've got a vertical headlight, which is how the GP9s were done. So it doesn't match on both ends.
But that's how it is, though, right?
That's how the prototype is. Yeah. And this one is painted as it appeared probably around the mid '90s, because originally when they built it, they didn't have these numbers painted on the ends. There's no number boards on this unit. That was another thing I had to get rid of. Fill those in and putty them over, but the numbers are just painted on. But they didn't paint those on until sometime in the '90s from the pictures that I've been able to find.
Yeah.
So
looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, it was. This one was a lot of work, but I've had a lot of comments on it, and people seem to like it. So I think it was worth it.
Yeah. It's good to feature on your model, your special model. It's almost like a podcast we're doing here every week.
Yeah, sort of.
Dan's models.
A little mini podcast, kind of.
Yeah.
I have 5 of them actually, and they all run really well, except for one that's got a broken drivetrain at the moment. But
that might hinder its running a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't run at all right now. But that was because that one was. Well, that's another story for another time. But this one has no problems.
Yeah, it looks good. Smooth running, looks good. Custom Kitbash, really cool. I mean, not knowing before you told me all that stuff about how you Kitbashed it, if I saw this on a layout someplace, I would go, "Oh, look, a nice B unit."
Yeah,
and not have any idea. That's how good the work is on it.
Oh, thanks. This is, by the way, it's also painted with scale coat paint. They're BN green.
Yeah,
and I used microscale decals on it, just from a Burlington Northern decal sheet, and a few miscellaneous warning labels.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of Dan's Models. Join us next week, too.
Yeah, see ya.